Now it's time for something outrageously good. My warm chocolate budini are individual Italian puddings, served warm and topped with, get this, toasted marshmallow ice cream. And that's where I want to start, actually making the ice cream base for the toasted marshmallow ice cream. So I'm going to measure a cup of milk into my pot. And I need a cup of whipping cream. And I'm going to measure that into a bowl here because I'm going to pour my cooked custard over the cool cream just to cool it down. I'll put a strainer over the cream, and I have 2 eggs separated here. So first thing I'll do is heat up my milk to just below a simmer and grab the sugar and divide it between the milk and the egg yolk. I need 1/3 cup of sugar, so I'll just sprinkle about half of that. Just whisk in that sugar. Now that my milk is almost simmering, I can add that remaining sugar, and with a quick little tempering, and all that is pouring the hot liquid slowly into the cool eggs so they don't scramble. Once you get it warmed up, you transfer it back, and then still on medium heat, you cook this until it has thickened. Usually takes about 4 minutes. There we go. Now that this has thickened, I want to cool it down. So I'll pour it through the strainer. I also want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So I need to chill this down first before it can go into an ice cream maker. So I'll just give it a cover and pop it in the fridge to chill. Now it's time to work on my budini. And when I say budini, I mean plural, because you have 1 budino or you have many budini. In my case, this recipe makes 6. And it all starts with the chocolate. You need 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I have a 1/4 cup of butter here. And I'll add that to the chocolate. And then take this over to my water bath. My pot of barely simmering water, just so I can melt the 2 together. All right, my chocolate and butter are melted and nice and smooth. And I can set this aside. I'm gonna crack 3 eggs into my mixing bowl. You wanna bring your eggs up to room temperature if you can, because they'll whip to a higher volume. To this, I'll add 1/2 cup of sugar, and then I whip this on high speed until it practically triples in volume. This will take just a couple minutes. There we go, beautiful volume. Now, I'm actually gonna use my whip attachment to help me fold in the chocolate. And just quickly stir it around to work it in. I will switch to a spatula now. I need to sift in a 1/4 cup of cocoa. I need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I just sift this in over top of the batter. It kind of does have a pudding-like quality to it at this point, doesn't it? My last addition, a shot of espresso, so 1 ounce. Now you will notice it really liquefies the batter. That's okay, it's factored into the recipe. It's true that when I go out for lunch or dinner with my mom, and she's a sharesy type when it comes to dessert, but if she sees a budino on the menu, there's no sharing. I've poured my batter into a pitcher just to make it tidier and easier to pour into my 6 greased ramekins. I'll go about halfway now. They will rise up a lot when they bake. If you're making them a day ahead, you can store them in the fridge, and then you can even bake them 1 at a time. But you want to make sure you pull them out 2 hours before it's time to bake. To finish up my toasted marshmallow ice cream, well, I need to make marshmallow, and that's what I'm doing right here. I have 3 egg whites in my mixer. They're at room temperature, and as I whip them, I'm going to add just 2 tablespoons of sugar. check. Perfect, nice soft peak. Now I need to measure 2/3 of a cup of sugar out. And I'll take this back to my pot here on the stove, and I've already put 3 tablespoons of water in here. So I'll add the sugar, and I'll turn this on high heat, and there's no need to stir. Once this boils and hits 239, then I add it to my egg whites. There we go. And I'm adding a tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. If you don't have paste, you can use extract, the same measurement. I'll just whip that in. Now to get my marshmallow ready for toasting, I want to spread it out on a baking tray. Doesn't have to look pretty, but spread it into a thin layer across the tray. Now I'll check on that ice cream base. Yep, nicely chilled. And I'll get my ice cream unit here. I'll start the mixer and pour in my ice cream base and let it start churning. And it shouldn't take too long. While that churns, I'll toast up my marshmallow using a butane kitchen torch. There we go, perfect. My ice cream base is about 90% there, and that's when you want to add your toasted marshmallow. So now this is all set for the freezer. Get this into a container. Look at all those toasted marshmallow bits. All right, I'll pop this in the freezer to firm up. And now I can bake the budini. Now it takes a really hot oven, 400 degrees, and it takes about 18 to 20 minutes. They smell so good. There we go. There's the ice cream, firmed up. And let me slide one of these gems over to my plate. Big spoon or little spoon? Big spoon. That way, I can cut right through the ice cream into that warm, gooey budino. Oh, the ice cream's melting right into it.